Hi, my name is Alicia Renee. I'm here at Industry's Most Wanted. I'm from Virginia. I'm here with Tampa today. We're going to get this interview going.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live. Where are we at, Alicia Renee?
Industries
In the most
wanted.
That's right, the big one, not the little one.
Oh, that's right.
I heard we got VA in the building today. What is going on, beautiful? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here. I'm excited to be here. How are you doing today?
Listen, I'm doing good. I'm glad that you're here. We've done this before, but virtually, so I'm glad that we're able to connect and do it in person. Okay. Absolutely. You have a lot going on musically. Give us kind of a brief introduction of yourself.
So my name is Alicia Renee. I do music. I am a standout artist. I try to be. I try to put motivation in my music and just be different while having personality within my craft. So
I love exactly how you broke that out and explained it, because that's the whole goal, is to stand out, not fit in, right?
Agreed.
You want to stand out.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's take it back just ever so slightly. Growing up in Virginia as a child, was music ever an interest for you when you were little?
Definitely, yeah. I started on the church.
Okay.
That's mostly how the Southern-ish.
Yeah.
That's the Southern thing. But so I started out in church, just singing in church, and then I moved from there. I would just put my emotions into music. So from there, I started writing music, writing songs, and then as I got older, I started taking it serious.
Yeah, absolutely. So being that you started in church, was going the gospel route ever a thought for you?
To be honest with you, I've thought about that. I plan to do different genres, and incorporating it together. So I think my voice is it complements gospel.
Yes.
Because I just have a soulful voice.
I agree. So. I absolutely agree. That's why I asked, because I feel like that you could slide right on in there and fit in perfect, because then you got a background with that as well, growing up in the church. So being able to do something on the gospel side and still mix in the secular side, I think would be absolutely amazing, because you could create your own genre.
Exactly.
We'll just have to come up with a cool name for it.
Right.
Lynchburg, VA. Tell us about it, man, for people that don't know about the city.
Well, I try to stay away from this conversation, to be honest with you. It's a city. Every city has its downfall.
Understood. Absolutely, it does.
And I try not to, if I don't have anything nice to say, I try not to say anything at all.
Understood.
But this is just my personal experience.
I got you. Understood. That's what our mom taught us. You ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Understood. Say no more. Boom. We'll leave it right there. Definitely. But it's still home for you, at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Moving forward, do you think that's, something that you want to potentially put in your rear view at some point in time and relocate?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have any places in mind?
I was actually thinking Atlanta, to be honest with you.
Oh, Lord Jesus. It's
So I've been thinking about it, so we'll see. We'll see where life takes me.
Atlanta's a great city. Don't get me wrong. I've been here almost 12 years. It's just so packed here now.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna front. The traffic be trafficking. But it's a great city for independent artists, because there's so many opportunities out here. So I'll never shun on that. It's just my biggest suggestion: if you do move here, don't move to the city. Move outside the city. 30 minutes outside the city, so you're not dealing with all the chaos.
Yeah,
definitely, 100%. So you started really taking it seriously, professionally, maybe 4-ish years ago. So we'll say kind of pandemic-ish era. What was it? Was it because you had a little bit more time, because people weren't really outside?
So to be quite honest with you, I'm very spiritual. We had this conversation before.
Yes.
So it was just a certain journey for me. It was my spiritual journey, and it just really kind of sparked something within me, and it was just like, Alicia, you need to take your craft serious. So I finally did. I finally faced my fear of, I guess, public appearance and things like that. And I'm still getting over certain things. I'm sure, yeah. But anyways, so I faced my fear, and I actually went to the studio, getting over social anxiety different things like that. And I've been doing it ever since, and I'm learning, getting better at it. So
I think the biggest thing to take with that is the fact that a lot of people deal with that. They'll just never admit to it. Because I oftentimes deal with social anxiety, and I have to be around a lot of people. And honestly, that's why I don't go out as much as I used to, because there's so much weirdo energy out there that is like, you never know what might cling on to you and you take it home. And I ain't trying to bring that into my household.
right, yeah.
So I don't be outside like that. So I certainly understand. I feel more comfortable in settings like this. Minimal amount of people. I'm not around a bunch of people I don't know, because, you know, people be on that weirdo stuff.
Right, yeah.
How do you, Slick, kind of overcome that, though, being an artist where you do have to be in places oftentimes where there's going to be a lot of people?
Well, that is a great question. I'm going with the flow, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like the more and more I guess my videos help me.
Yeah.
You know, I do videos and like I'm in the camera, so I am exuding my personality. So
Yes.
to be honest with you, to shorten my answer, is being me.
Yes.
So yeah, me being me is what actually gets me through it, because it's actually me. It's who I am. So I'm not pretending to be somebody. So you know what I mean? So that's how I get.
Great answer. Great answer. Because it's like, if you're already kind of feeling a little socially like awkward, you know, and then you're trying to put on a front on top of it, it could be a whole disastrous thing. And I agree with you, just being yourself. And for me, what helps is oftentimes, like, Squally comes with me to events. Having somebody that I trust, I call them my safe space, because that's somebody I work with and I know I can trust. You know what I'm saying? So having somebody with you, whether it's, you know, one of your friends, family members, something like that, definitely can help. Are you currently doing any performances at all?
Yes, I do have a performance after this, as we talked about.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. I'm actually working 2025. I'm actually working on doing more performances. So we'll see what is in store. For this
Understood.
year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just going to ask you, what is something that you can work on more? So you think getting out there, doing live performances like the mic drops and on stage, a little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I do have, you know, something coming up later this year. That's going to be a live performance. So we're going to see how that goes. And again, this is new for me. I am moving into this by the wind, I guess you can say, or by fate. So I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah.
So
So what you have to do, you truly, truly, truly have to live in the moment and take it a
Yeah.
day at a time.
yeah, because, you know, everybody has a, like, performance, I guess you can say, alter ego. So
Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be Alicia Renee.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
still figuring that out.
Keeping it true to yourself, but giving them that artist mode per se when you jump on stage, because like you said, they have that alter ego, definitely. And you have to find what works for you, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey. And for some people, it can take a little longer than others, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We can't rush the process. We got to trust the process, right? Definitely. So coming into this year, I know that you said you want to do more performances. What else is, like, you know, maybe a goal that you set for yourself? You're like, you know what, I'm going to make sure in 2025 I accomplish this. Is it maybe a project or anything like that?
I guess my ultimate goal is to just get out more. So like we just talked about, performances and just like more bookings.
Yeah.
Building my fan base, like an authentic fan base. I've been working on my streams, so I'm trying to, you know, gather my grouping, the authentic warriors.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's my ultimate goal.
Yeah. And it's a lot to learn in this business, because it's like, just when we think we know everything, there's more.
Yeah.
And then when we learn that, then there's still more.
Yeah.
And then it's always evolving. There's always something new.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I remember probably 15 years ago, some of the stuff that the artists have to do now didn't have to do back then, because social media didn't exist. You didn't have to be a content creator. You didn't have to worry about getting some of the business together that you do now, because everything is digital streaming.
Right.
What does your creative process look like? Are you a writer?
Yeah. I'm definitely a writer. I write all my music.
Yeah.
And so I guess me, when I write my music, I let the music speak to me. So I'm a type of person where the beat kind of guides what I write. And I guess, you know, that's another goal for me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to write more in 2025 because I haven't been on my P's and Q's like I should be. But it's just, I be having a lot going on. Like, I do videos and just other things like that. And I have my business that I'm trying to do. And I don't know. I guess my mindset with the music is like, if I have one song, why keep writing and putting it out? Because the more songs you put out, the more you got to promote.
Yes.
So I'm taking all this money promoting all these different songs. Why not just take that and just promote that one song? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's how I think about it.
No, I actually agree with that. Having like your main single that you're putting your budget and your focus behind, not to say you can't still release other songs on the in-between time, because you never know, one of them other songs someone might stumble across it, that may be the one.
Yeah.
You know, because the way people are now, they have very short attention spans, meaning that if you put one song out, they're like, okay, when's the next one coming?
Right.
Not understanding as an artist, it takes a lot to promote just one song, let alone 30 of them if you have them out there.
Exactly.
So I definitely get that. Let's dive a little bit deeper into your creative process. I know you said that, listening to the beat, but where do you actually draw your inspiration from when you're writing your lyrics?
To be honest, it mostly comes from like personal experience.
Yeah.
So like my last single that I have is Independent, and that's my anthem. That is Alicia Renee's anthem. Like, it's just and I put all my personal energy into that song, from personal experiences, being a single mom. So yeah, it's all personal for me. Like, it's really legit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So is the writing process similar to like a therapy for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. It goes from the writing to the actual studio and the mic, singing. Music has always been that therapy for me. Just singing, period. Just, I don't know, it releases emotion. And it helps you heal. So
110% it does.
yeah. So
And we, as women, I can't speak for men because we are not a man, but we as women, we are very, very, very emotional. We're very, very, very nurturing. You're a mom, you understand that.
Yeah.
We have to have an outlet, and men do too as well, because mental health is real for everybody. But just speaking on a woman's behalf, we have to have an outlet, somewhere to let it out, because we as women, boy, it be building up sometimes, right? Yeah. So you getting in there and writing, what does a writing session look like for you? Meaning, is it usually at the house? Is it when you get in the studio? Is it kind of just random?
To be honest with you, it is kind of random.
Yeah.
It's like when I get in that mode is when I actually start writing.
Yeah.
And that's just the problem with me right now. I ain't gonna say it's a problem, because I always say everything happens for a reason, but I need to get in that mode more often.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard to get in that mode when you have life that's distracting you. So it's like, I'm trying to deal with life. I'm trying to deal with raising kids. I'm trying to, and it's not, I don't want to make it personal, but this is just my personal experience and what I'm speaking on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to navigate everything so I can balance out everything. And, yeah.
Having a work-life balance can be difficult sometimes. We're human beings.
Yeah. But
But we have to have grace on ourselves, because especially being a mom, I heard you mention a single mom. I was a single mom as well, and it can be difficult because it's like, we have to work extra hard to play that mom and that dad role, to bring the money in, to make sure family's taken care of. But at the same time, you have to make time for yourself and the things that you're passionate about, which is your music.
Exactly.
How did motherhood change your life?
Oh, motherhood has it's really changed my life. Like, to be honest, Tampa, you know how like everybody, they have their own separate, like we all have our different personas. I ain't gonna say persona because that's not the word I'm looking for, but we all have different sides.
Yes.
So, and to be honest with you, you probably look at me right. I probably wouldn't look like I got a little hint of crazy, but I definitely do. And my kids actually helped me tame that. So before I think twice about doing something that's gonna cause me to, regret that decision or cause me to be away from my kids, I make sure I think about them, because at the end of the day, they need me.
Yes.
So that's how my life changed. And another aspect is my nurturing side came out more once I became a mother, because before I was not really tapped in with my nurturing side. Yeah. I really wasn't that affectionate, and even now, I am more affectionate, but I'm still learning in regards to that because I'm not perfect.
Understood.
So, Yeah.
Absolutely. We're all human beings. And it also, has some stuff to do with our upbringing as well. I don't know your household situation at all coming up, but I hear, especially coming from men, a lot of them will say that they were taught to not be emotional. They were taught it's not okay to cry. So that's why when they get older, they don't know how to show their emotions, right?
Right.
It's a learning curve, especially when you become a parent. Like you said, it brings out that nurturing side 100%. And really becoming more proactive rather than reactive, because like you said, you want to be there for your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very life altering, but it's a beautiful blessing.
It is a beautiful blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, I guess you can say the key is balance.
Yes.
You gotta balance it out between the Martin Luther King and the Malcolm X. Like, it has to be a balance. So
absolutely,
yeah.
And I think it's something that is forever a work in progress. We'll never be there, if that makes sense.
Agreed.
It's always, if anybody feels like they ever get there, baby, take it back to the drawing board. It's always got to be a work in progress because life is forever changing.
Exactly.
Forever changing. Do you have a setup to where you can record yourself, or are you always going to a studio?
Well, I'm always going to a studio. And yeah, so I'm always going to a studio. If I can find, I'm from a small area, so I take what I can get. And to me, like, being honest, like, I don't like to do, I guess, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, and you can tell me your opinion on this, but like, me coming into this, I don't really want to mix my energy with everybody. So it's like, if you don't have good business, I don't really want to do business. So, and that's just how I'm going into it. So you can tell me your aspect. You got something to tell me that I should know. You can let me know. But like, it's like I hear some people and they're like, oh, well, sometimes you got to work with people that you don't want to work with. And maybe you do, but
I'm laughing because it's so funny. I addressed this exact topic and posted it on Instagram probably about a week and a half ago.
Really?
Because when I came into this industry, someone told me exactly that. Someone that I love and admire said, oftentimes you're going to have to work with people you don't like in this business.
Yeah.
That's not me. If I don't like you and I don't like your energy and I don't like your business practices, I am not going to work with you, because as an entrepreneur, which you are as well, we have that right to say, no, I'm not working with that person.
I agree.
Now, if you work in the workforce and that's your coworker, you ain't got no choice because that's your job you got to go to. You know what I'm saying? But when you are independent and you work for yourself, whether it's doing music or whatever, you have the right to say, I'm not going to deal with that person, because why would you put your energy around someone that you don't believe in the way they're handling business?
Exactly.
That's a problem. So, no, I agree with you 110%. Let's keep that circle small, baby.
I know that's right.
Absolutely. So you've been able to gain over 25,000 streams. Major a compliment as a compliment. It is a compliment too. Sure. Accomplishment as an independent artist to be able to gain that many streams. How does it make you feel?
I feel good, to be honest with you. Yeah. And honestly, I was taken aback by that. But I randomly looked at it and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an accomplishment. And like from there, now I'm working on my latest single, which is Independent. So we're, making progress with that.
Absolutely.
As well. So yeah, I'm just it gives me the motivation to keep going.
Yes.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, like with this journey, you get stuck in a rut. Like when you don't see the progress that you want to see, it will have you stuck in a rut, and it's just like, well, okay, I've been doing all of this, and where's the reward here? But yeah, so that definitely was the reward, and it's a reminder to Alicia, keep going.
Absolutely. And you're right. And to what you just said, like, where's the reward? Something that my OG, my business partner, shout out to Bigger Rankin, told me when I first got in this business, and I'm so glad he did. And I say this often, and I'll always continue to say it because it stuck with me. He said, if you get in this music business for the money, you're going to be disappointed because the money ain't always going to be there.
Yeah.
But if you get into it for the love of it, the money's going to come. And that's stuck with me because in my first couple years of doing this, there wasn't a ton of money coming in. People didn't know me. I had to get my name out there. I can't expect them to break a bunch of bread with me and they don't know me or my work quality. Yeah. It takes years to build up to that. And it's no different as an artist. If you're brand new and people don't really know you, can't expect them to stream your music.
Exactly.
Once they start getting to know you and they're like, oh, I love me, her, you're some her, then the streams are going to come in, and it's proving to you your persistence and you staying consistent with this is paying off with them 25,000 streams. Sis, keep it going.
Thank you so much for that.
That's a big accomplishment. Absolutely. And you've also been on some major playlists as well, which helps.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So yeah, I've been trying to work with playlisting and getting my rankings up with that. I've been surprised with that too, to be honest with you. So yeah, I guess I'm just moving through life, and I'm trying to find the best resources to line up with my business. So and that's just what I'm working on. So I hope that answered your question.
No, absolutely. And I think you're absolutely 100% doing it the right way, because you have to find what aligns with your beliefs in the way you want to move. Yeah. Again, it kind of goes back to what we were saying about not having to work with everybody, because you have that right, you have that choice. And it's not that you're necessarily trying to be standoffish. You're protecting your peace and your energy, which is super important.
Yes. And it's just like, you're not supposed to care what people think at the end of the day, right? But it's like, sometimes it's like, you don't want people to, you don't want to come off standoffish.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. And you got to protect your brand. You got to protect you. And you got to protect your family. Like, if I don't want your energy around me, I don't want your energy around me. And then it's like, me coming into this industry, it's just like, people think that you're supposed to do it the way that they did it. That's not going to be me, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I am who I am, and I'm going to go the way that I want to go. And I guess that's the reason why it's like, put some respect on your name. Yes. Like, it's just like, once you do it your way and you have the formula for you, that's why people respect you, because it's like, just because you had to do that don't mean I have to do that. Just because you settle for that don't mean I have to settle for that.
That is facts. You have to set boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to set boundaries for yourself, and you have to stand on business.
Stand on business.
Period. And there's really is phases and levels to this. Like, in the earlier stages, you might have to get out there more to get your name and your face out there. Yeah. But then it's going to come to a point in time where you need to do the exact opposite. You got to scale back because it waters you down. Mm-hmm. If you show up to every single event, people are like, oh, I ain't got to book her. She going to show up anyway.
Right.
It devalues you later on once people get to know who you are. Because when I first moved to Atlanta, I was out everywhere. I was outside. But then it got to the point where I'm like, I only come out if it absolutely makes sense for me. And it's not that I'm trying to be standoffish or I think I'm too good, but if it does not, if I don't feel like it's somewhat of a benefit, and I'm not even talking about money, because I don't always look to get money when I go out, because I know how to network. You get what I'm saying? Yep. But the whole entire situation, the whole has to make sense for me. Am I going to maybe meet some people there that I can do business with? If not, then nah, babe, I'm good on that.
Your best interest.
Exactly. So you are doing the right thing. I agree with everything you've said today wholeheartedly. I feel you.
I'm telling you, we just have that.
Yeah, we right here. So at the end of the day, just know that whatever's right for you, that there are other people out there who feel the same exact way. And like you said, we can't care about what other people think. They say perception is everything, but no matter what we do in life, there's going to be people who love it and there's going to be people who don't.
Agreed.
We can't please everybody.
Agreed.
Period.
Yeah.
So leave some people where they are, like right there, unapologetically.
Yes. That's one thing I've learned. It's okay to be misunderstood. Like, if you don't get it now, hopefully you'll get it later. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because that's actually something I like to bring up from time to time. Do you feel like as an artist that you are slightly misunderstood? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, elaborate on that.
So yeah, back to what we just was talking about with the standoffish. I just feel like people, put that persona on a person, especially, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it today, Tampa.
Dive in.
People just, they put a stamp on confident women. They put a stamp on confident women. Oh, well, you're standoffish, and, you have a problem working with people, and like just different things like that. And it's just like, when you're a person, you're headstrong, you're ambitious, you're determined, and you're persistent. You know what you want, and you know what you're going for. So it's like, they just try to, just paint that picture of you so you can't network, or so nobody want to network with you. And this is just my own personal experience. It's like, I don't want to be negative, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, throughout, I guess what I'm saying to people throughout my messages, I have to be real. Yeah. And that is real. Like, it's really real. Like, when you are, what they call an alpha female, but I don't believe in alpha female. But the term that they trying to put the definition with, that's just what you get labeled as. But it's okay to be confident. I tell women all the time, And I hope that's another inspiration I try to give off. Be confident.
Yeah.
Be you. Because at the end of the day, once they take that confidence away, who are you? Who are you, though?
Facts. Don't let someone strip you of that confidence, because it can take a long time to get to that point.
Yes.
And, you know, it's speaking on alpha females, because I have a very big, strong personality. I stand on what I believe in, and I don't get online and be controversial. I don't do that. Yeah. But I'm going to speak what I feel, just like I told you, I posted a clip recently talking about I'm not going to do business with people I don't like. I'm going to stand on that. But I feel like when I do speak my mind, that 99% of the time, the people that come for me are men. Really? Like, yes. And I'm like, it's weird to me.
That is crazy.
It is crazy. I'm like, I've just noticed that anytime, like I had posted something the other day, you know, kind of giving some advice to artists about making sure you read what's sent to you when you are handling business, because you could wind up in a bad situation. Yeah. The only people that kind of had something negative to say was men. And I'm like, well, probably because you're guilty of it. And you feel like I'm coming for you, but I address it. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just trying to simply give you some advice that why would you not read something that you're spending money on? It don't make no sense.
Exactly.
You know, it's just crazy to me.
I agree with that. And I've actually seen that video. I love that message. I'm like, you know what? Because why would you not?
Right.
You never know what you're signing.
Exactly.
So I agree.
Yeah, and it's like, and if you read it and don't understand it, then it's okay to ask them questions. But don't skim through it, sign it, and then wonder why, like, you got in a bad situation. That's your fault.
Exactly. Nothing but your fault. Okay.
Speaking on that, do you ever have a desire to maybe sign with a label if it made sense for you, whether it's independent or major?
That's a great question. I've been thinking about that. I guess if it made sense.
Yeah.
Only if it made sense. And it has to make sense for me. But I want to stay independent because I like my creativity.
Yeah.
Like, as you were stating about your business partner, I feel the same way, that message. Don't do it for money, but do it for the love of what you do.
Yes.
And that's what I stand on. So don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Fall for anything. And, absolutely.
Yeah, so if it aligns with my beliefs, then yeah, I would do it.
Understood. Exactly. It has to absolutely make sense for you. And what makes sense for you may not make sense for the next person, and that's okay. Right. Perhaps more like a partnership. You know, like maybe there's an investor out there or something like that who's willing to invest in what they see that you're doing, right, but still you have complete creative control. Or you could even start your own label and sign yourself and then get a partnership.
That is true.
Yeah,
that
girl.
Is true.
Put that on the bucket list. So her own label. I see more and more artists doing that, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Outside of the music industry, you also have a journal collection. Tell us about it.
So I started off with the prayer journal. And that is just an inspiration for whoever. Yeah. Obviously it's going to be targeted to women, because women, we like to write. Well, I ain't going to say that. I'm not going to say that, because men write too. Yes. So that's why it's for everybody. So I started off with that one. Then I came out with another one, and that's my man checklist journal.
I need that. Where can I purchase it?
And, I meant to bring, I had this whole thing. I meant to bring you some, but they're on Amazon.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, what's the title of them? So
the first one is the prayer journal.
Okay.
And then the second one is my man.
So that is the titles of them?
Yes.
That is dope.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to do that. Since I like to write, I decided to just come out with these journals that was inspired by different things in my life. So the prayer journal, I love to pray. I told you I'm very spiritual. Yeah. And things like that. And the my man checklist journal, I am a sucker for love stories.
I am too.
I am just a sucker for love stories. So it's like, if you have a love story, I have a love story. Go ahead, write what you want down from your man at the end of the day, or just whatever. Write down the checklist, what you want to do together. Like, it's just like it's a guidance for a healthy relationship. Because Lord knows, when you've been in a toxic relationship.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And one of my biggest pieces of advice, not to get off subject or off on a tangent, but as a woman, and this goes for men or women, when you are entering into a new relationship, make sure whoever you're entering in a relationship with is healed. Yes. Yes. My last 2 relationships, they were not healed, and I ended up somewhat suffering from that. Never again, ever, hear me loud and clear, hear ye, will I ever into a relationship where they are not healed from their previous relationship. That was my fault, though. I shouldn't have done that, but I had these high hopes. Yeah. We can't change nobody. Right. they got to be willing to do it themselves. But I love that you have these journals. So those 2 are available. Is it something that you want to continue, like creating new ones with different types of topics per se?
I actually do. I don't, as of right now, I really don't have a plan as to where I go. I kind of go with the flow type person. So if I wake up tomorrow and I want to do whatever journal, I'm going to do that too. But I do brainstorm different ideas. So we'll see.
I absolutely love that, because I had actually probably about 2 years ago, I had shared with my doctor that I was experiencing some anxiety, but I'm like, I don't think it's to the point, I don't want to be on meds, none of that stuff. He simply suggested that I start journaling. Yeah. So I bought one on Amazon. It's called the 3-Minute Positivity Journey, where every morning you get up. Are you familiar with that one?
I'm not. It sounds good, though.
It is. Every morning you get up and you write your affirmations for the day. You write your goals for the day. And then at nighttime, you do it again before you go to sleep. You pour all your emotions out into the journal so you're not taking them to bed with you.
Right. Did
you meet your goals? How was your day? When I tell you, that changed my life immensely. So I want to absolutely purchase yours as well. I want to support you and purchase them, because I'll use them and I'll promote them and all that good stuff.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Congratulations on that. Girl, we talking about reality TV.
Yes, ma'am.
So ma'am. Give us the details. Give us the tea.
Well, the tea is like, it's something that I'm going to try to get into.
Okay.
Like I said before, I don't know if this is for Alicia, but we're going to see.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I don't know. It's just, with reality TV, it's reality, but it's not.
Yes.
And that's what I'm kind of learning with that. So, I just had some recent experience with different people in the industry. And it goes back to the respect thing, and it goes back to people wanting you to go their way instead of your way. So it creates problems.
Yes.
It creates problems that you don't want to settle for different things, or they don't want to pay you for your work. And I don't agree with that, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm a newbie. Yes, I'm coming into this industry, but I still got a family to take care of at the end of the day. So I understand the networking thing, right? But yeah, I still need money.
Listen, I agree with you. My take on what you said is this. I always put my 2 cents in. If someone's coming to you, it's because they see value in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So they should automatically out the gate expect that they would pay you. Mm-hmm. But if it's a situation where you guys are maybe collabing on something, or you're working on something together, okay, the monetary may not always be there. We're going to get to the money at some point in time. Yeah. But if I don't know you and I come to you and say, I need a feature from you, it's because I see value in what you're doing and I respect what you got going on. Yeah. So there's a big difference there. People need to understand that. 100%. So listen, there ain't nothing wrong. Your price is your price is your price. Yeah, exactly. And the beautiful thing about being independent is that can waver. You can change it based upon their needs, your needs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you think about every place you go to, stores, their price is their price is their price.
Exactly. So that's just something.
Pay your fare.
Oh my goodness, don't make me laugh. But yeah, so that's what I've been stepping into, like some issues with, I guess you can say, the filming and the reality TV and things like that. It's just like you're going into it, and it's like, I'm going into it with me. I'm going into it with my standards and my beliefs. And if you rock with that, you rock with that. And if you don't, well, I'm gonna keep it moving.
Absolutely. Let's kind of like break it down just a little bit. What type of exact reality TV setting would be right for you? Because there's different ones. There's ones about relationships. There's about a bunch of girls in a house and they be fighting. Like, what would be the right one you feel like for you?
I don't know. That's something that I'm gonna figure out to see. Yeah. I don't object to I guess neither of those.
Yeah.
If it's about a relationship, I do relationship content, so that would be a good fit. I don't really do a lot of my business out, so it's not going to be like too personal.
Sure.
But that's just what I like to do. So and then the whole baddies thing with the fighting and all that, I'll do that too.
Okay.
Because I told you, I before my kids, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'll do that too.
She might have a little pent-up frustration lingering from back in the day that you come across someone's head.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, we got to let it out somehow. Yeah. No, but I think that's dope, because that's just another way to potentially get your name and your brand out there. If you can utilize these platforms, whether some people agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. If it works for you, utilize it to get your name in, because a lot of artists they'll start their own podcast or they'll do other things. Yeah. Has it been ever a thought for you starting your own podcast?
Yeah, so it actually has been. And I guess you can say my videos is kind of like the base of it.
Yeah.
But as I move forward and go along my journey, then I'm going to actually elevate it.
Understood.
To an actual podcast.
I think you should. And it will also, because with having a podcast, especially if it's a visual one, because some people just do audio podcasts, which is fine. That's how I started mine out initially. Yeah. It gets you very comfortable with being in front of that camera. Mm-hmm. You know, like you have no choice but to be in front of that camera, even if it's just you and the camera.
Right.
It can be intimidating sometimes.
I agree.
It can, absolutely. So I think you would do great with that.
Thank you.
Coming soon.
The
Alicia Renee podcast, whatever we're going to call it. Tell us about the song Independent.
Okay, so, Independent is my baby. That's my baby. I put a lot into that song. I put a lot of, because, as I go along, me and you talked before. You're a Taurus, I'm a Capricorn, so you going to feel what I'm coming from. I'm very private. If I don't really trust you, then you're not going to really know my internal feelings or emotions or business.
Yes.
So me and Independent, I kind of put more of my personal, not too personal, but it's personal enough for you to know that, it's okay to go through what you're going through, or it's okay to not be able to depend on a man. You'll find one that you can depend on. And once you find one that you can depend on, that is okay. But you got to first basically heal from the one that you could not depend on. So that's pretty much what I'm talking about within that song. You attract what you are. Because the struggle, and I guess what inspired that song too, because Independent with Webby and Lil Boosie.
Yeah.
I love that song growing up. So it was, to me, this is like a narrative from the independent woman that they're painting the picture of. She got her own house. She got her own car.
Right.
But what is going on behind closed doors with that independent woman?
Man, that's deep.
Yeah. What's really going on in her mindset? Because if she really has to be that independent, who's really there for her? You know what I mean? So
absolutely. It goes back to, like you said, you learn to be more nurturing, and oftentimes it comes to the point we find ourselves nurturing everyone but ourselves. Mm-hmm. And it's like that self-love has to be there 100% in order for us to really give it to other people. And I heard you say also too, what you put out really is kind of what you're getting back in. So when it's in a relationship, I think them boundaries and them standards per se have to be set early on. Yeah. Things will change and we can make compromises, like I'm not super stuck in my ways, but there are boundaries that have to be set. Mm-hmm. And like you said, also, we said earlier, coming into a relationship where both parties are healed. Super important.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Because when you said that, not recently, but I had a couple experiences like that.
Yeah.
Where I healed for certain things and I deal with different men and they were good men.
Yes.
Very good men.
Yes.
But they were not healed from that past trauma. And now you've triggered an unhealed wound, and now I have to patch that up and keep it moving because you didn't do the work for yourself. So,
girl, I've experienced it twice, back to back. Yes. I should have learned from the first time, but I feel like oftentimes we feel like because we're nurturing, we can come in and fix the situation. Yes. Yeah. No, I've learned that is absolutely, they have to work through it on their own, be completely healed, and then whether it takes a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it may be.
Right.
I took 8 between my relationships. I took a 8-year hiatus, but then I got right back into a situation I was in before. I'm like, dummy. What were you thinking?
I've done that too.
They're good men.
Yes. Yeah.
Good men. Nothing about them personally. It's just they weren't healed. Mm-hmm. Girl, it sounds like we've been through the same thing.
I know. It's that connection there.
Is there a visual on the way for Independent?
Yeah, it is. I don't really have a date range or anything like that. I guess I got to get better with that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I kind of do things on my own time. Yeah. So I'm working on different other things as well. So, but we're gonna get there. So yeah.
It sounds like you have a lot going on, and I love that for you. You know, between, you know, like looking at potentially reality TV, you're a mother, you have your music career, you have to work, your journal series. Like, there's a lot to balance there. So I think you're doing a phenomenal job. And we have to give ourselves grace sometimes.
Agreed. And I thank
Absolutely.
you for that.
Absolutely. Anything else you got in the works coming up? You know, I know you got another performance today, but like, you know, anything we'll say in the next 30 to 60 days that we need to be on the lookout for?
Nothing like, I don't think, nothing, yeah. I'm just, to be honest with you, I'm just working on promote what I already have out.
Yeah.
So I'm working on, you know, my journaling as well. I'm working on getting sales for that, and just elevate my business, elevate my music. And that's just my motto right now.
Yeah.
So I'm working on what I already have, so I don't add more to my plate because it can turn into a whole disaster and tip over. So, yeah. So right now, nothing new, but just sticking to what I recently put out.
Absolutely. So. No, I agree with that. Get everything that you already have going on where it needs to be before you start taking on more stuff. Like you said, it can become disastrous.
Yes. Yes.
Things start falling through the cracks, and we don't want that to happen. Absolutely. So Independent is out on all the streaming platforms that they can go check out.
Yep.
Visual will be on the way at some point in time. Mm-hmm. They can be on the lookout for that, most definitely. Where can they follow you? Where anybody wants to follow your movement?
So Facebook is Alicia Renee. TikTok is The Authentic Alicia Renee. Same as my Instagram. And just, yeah, shoot me a follow. I have good content. And, yeah, so I just, like I said before, I try to inspire. And I'm sorry, I be stumbling on my words. This is Authentic Alicia Renee here. Seriously. But, yeah, so I aim to inspire through and leave messages. And, yeah, so.
Give us one.
Well, I guess that's what I said earlier. It's about what you stand for.
Yeah.
And that's another song I have out. So you got to stand for something or fall for anything. And to be honest with you, going through this journey, don't ever lose yourself. And that's what I'm trying not to do. Okay. So like, I'm trying to stay grounded, because you can get caught up in the industry standards and what is supposed to be what it is. But I'm trying to stay true to myself. So sometimes me going back to my content and watching how I am in the beginning and what I say in the beginning, that's for me too, along with helping other people. So that's the message I have for today.
I love it. I love it.
Stick to you. Stick to you.
Perfect message. A lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. Who do you want to give thanks to, give a shout out to for supporting you?
Every time I get asked that, I never, shout out to everybody, to be honest with you. Like, if you ever supported me in any type of way, shout out to you. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that ever gave a like, gave a share, gave a stream, gave a sale, gave anything. I appreciate you. Even by word of mouth. If you never, I appreciate you, really. And I see you.
And shout out to yourself. Mm-hmm. You deserve that big old shout out because you got it going on. Shout out to Alicia Renee out here doing it big, not little. You dig? One last question. We are live. Let me drop it. Big industry's most wanted, not the little one.
Wanted.
What makes Alicia Renee the industry's most wanted?
Because Alicia is her authentic self. And I preach that. People might get tired of me saying that, but it's just something you don't see quite often. I feel like you're seeing it more now because I feel like people are starting to get it more. But yeah, that's what makes me most wanted, because I'm rare. And I'm rare because, not because I'm better than anybody else, but because I stick to me. And that's just what it is.
I love it. Perfect answer.
Thank you.
Shout out to you for being here today.
I know. I'm so happy to be here.
I know. I'm glad that we got to do this. Thank you for being here. We up out of here, y'all.
Thank you for having me.